let's jump right into this mystery. I'm so excited. I want to know who the killer is. It's like nothing was obvious.
I'm just happy there was a murder.
I'm happy there was a murder.
I mean, we had to get something.
Beyond blackmail. Blackmail's weird. Uh-oh. Or blackmail's lame. Tame. Too tame for us.
Yeah.
Sorry. My cat has been...
We are in the big leagues.
My cat has been super needy, so if you hear him yelling, I apologize. Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, so now if I remember correctly, we have learned that there is much more to the guests. Yes! Big cases! There's more intricate and intimate relationships between the guests than initially thought.
Alright, let's go back to our objectives. Actually, right now, Weird Vampire and Emily, tell me, who do you think is the most likely suspect so far?
I think they all did it.
They all did it. Throw in the ending of Clue.
The ending of Clue or Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Or like I said, cards on the table. I really honestly feel like this is a cards on the table situation where they're covering for each other because they think someone that they love or have an investment to protect are the murderers. That's what I think right now.
Oh, Weird Vampire, do you think something different? Alright, well, Weird Vampire is letting us know. We have one more connection to make. Guests have known each other for years. Angeline is sure they are closer than they initially appear. And Jackie bumped heads with the Major. A confrontation occurred between Jackie and the Major. That's right. Her hatred for the Major...
Yeah, because we thought... we thought she was the least likely
suspect. This will not get me any closer to my goal.
At least for the blackmail. Oh, Jackie was pushing for dirt on the Major. No. And they bumped heads. Is that what they're...
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Okay. I doubted Jackie's involvement with the murder, but now I am dubious of her innocence.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
I do think that there might be a slight delay, so if I am talking over Emily, I do apologize for that.
That's okay.
I do think that there is a slight delay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I now have all the motives for the guests. Who is under suspicion? Alright, we have one more link to make here. Margot wanted to protect Cassandra.
Right there.
What?
What does it say next to the Major? I'm sorry.
All motives confirmed.
Okay.
So who is under suspicion? All alibis are also confirmed. Is that linked?
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Yes.
I do not know who I can trust or whose stories I can believe. Are the guests innocent? All guests are suspicious.
I also think everyone did it, but maybe they might cover for each other accidentally, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Ooh. That's an interesting theory. I like that.
Yeah.
Guests have known each other for years.
Can you explain what you mean by... Oh, sorry, real quick. Can you explain what you mean by cover for each other accidentally? Because that sounds... I think that's what I was trying to go for with cards on the table. Mm-hmm. Because in cards on the table, like, there was this Major who was in love with this young girl, and then this young girl also had her estranged mother, and they had this weird relationship where they still... You know, you still love your mom.
Right.
Even if you're estranged.
All right, let's play the game, though. Let's play this game, though.
Sorry.
I know, I love Agatha Christie, but I think we should play this game. I want to know about this story. Okay, the guests have known each other for years, and all guests are suspicious. I think these are connected.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
I now doubt how trustworthy their stories may be. They may well be covering for each other.
Yes!
There is no physical way one of the guests could have killed the Major and returned to the party, unless that is where I am mistaken. It is not one guilty party I should be looking for, rather, multiple. Here we go, the ultimate twist, the Murder on the Orient Express twist. Alright.
I don't think either of the brothers did it. I'm just putting that out there right now.
I don't know. I think Zach could have done it.
He might have, but someone was let into the room the major let someone that he trusted into the room.
How could I have not considered that the Major's death was a part of a ploy created and executed by only one of the guests? It came almost as an epiphany following Mademoiselle Angeline's remark about the guest's shared past. Perhaps Mademoiselle will become the trusted ally that I now sense may be essential to catching the guilty parties. Oh, Angeline's the first Hastings. Hey, Ozzy. Yes, honey. Jump up. Jump up. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah,
her.
he's had other allies as well, but they have also, just noting, have also been under suspicion. Like Death in the Clouds, that's one where he thought his ally was under suspicion. Third Act Party, I think that's what it's called. Ally turned out to be the murderer. Oh, sorry, spoiler for that.
Tonight's questioning was only the beginning. I will allow my suspects to sleep on their stories, and we will see how they fare tomorrow. Again, I don't like the idea of sleeping in a home where someone is a murderer. Perhaps one of those involved
will have a dead body in there.
Will have morals enough to show a glimmer of regret. Considering they may be working together, I cannot be sure who has told the truth, and who has attempted to sell me down the fleuve. Perhaps I should sleep on the matter. A good night's sleep will surely bring a new dawn of thinking, and what a better setting to do so than the peaceful falling blanket of snow that surrounds us all with a body in the house! It's not peaceful! Although, it seems not everyone has the same idea. Creepy. Creepy, creepy. Someone's
that
outside.
That totally reminded me. Do you remember the Barbie detective game we played? When we
oh,
were really
yeah. I was like a shadowy figure. Let's follow them. Chapitre 5.
Secret.
The secret. A restless sleep combined with the image of the eerie figure in the snow has only convoluted what my little gray cells must consider. I should not have expected this to be a simple case. I have been lied to by at least one of the guests. Their alibis all confirm each other's, but I know this not to be true. Right. How the Major was involved with the blackmail eludes me for now. Once I have confirmed whether he was the author or recipient, I can consider my next step in my investigation. Okay, we're back to the blackmail.
Yes, let's deal with this blackmail right now.
Okay.
Yes or no? Was he the blackmailer?
The Major's blackmail letter. We must find whether he was the sender or recipient. The writer was demanding 5,000 francs. Whether he received it or was yet to send it is still unknown. The first blackmail letter appears to be the first one. Gideon paid it off. With nobody in the house able to pay the ransom, Gideon did the honorable thing as fiancé to Angeline. Okay. No links yet. Let's talk. Do we have to talk to Archie?
Do we have to go investigate? Yeah, do we have to go outside, too, to investigate the snow? What that person was doing out there?
Yeah, it looks
I'm sure whatever footprints.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk to Archie.
Good morning, Detective. You slept well?
I'm afraid I did not. I was hoping for at least a moment of pleasant slumber, but alas, it was not to be. Finding the Major's killer is the only thing that will put my mind at ease.
In that case, Detective, what can I do to help?
While watching the snow fall last night, I swear I saw the silhouette of a figure standing in the garden.
In that snow? If someone was out there, we'd have another body on our hands.
I realize how strange it sounds. I would not believe it myself if I had not seen it with my own eyes.
Staff have reported seeing things in the dark before, but it always just turns out to be shadows. It was likely just your mind playing tricks.
I did not see Mademoiselle Elizabeth last night.
I'm afraid our Lizzie is not well. I think the events of yesterday were too much for her. We'll have to just make do without her this morning.
As Wordsworth once stated, rest and be thankful. Perhaps a chance of peace and relaxation will work wonders.
I'd like to also speak with Madame Van den Bosch at her earliest convenience.
She is currently eating breakfast alone in the dining room. It's how she prefers it. but if you wish to speak with her now...
It is important I speak with her, but perhaps it is better to allow her to finish. I do not wish to upset her before I have even asked my first question. I could perhaps investigate the garden for any evidence of the figure from last night. So we are going to investigate the garden. Would you permit me to access the house's telephone?
I would, but I'm afraid I found this morning that the telephone lines aren't working. The snow continued through the night and must have damaged them. Even if we could use the telephone, I don't think anyone would be able to reach us.
Oh, goodness.
In that case, it will be up to myself alone to solve the case.
I'll let you know if anything changes. But until some of the snow clears, enough for the carriages to arrive, we are snowed in.
Although I am not able to call upon or leave the house to find help from the local authorities, it also means none of the guests are able to leave. I have until the snow clears to find not only Mademoiselle Angeline's blackmailer, but also the Major's killer. The Major's body...
Taken care of. Master Dramir and his brother, after sobering up, helped me move him into the cellar. Best place for the time being.
Très bien. I imagine there is no reason for anyone to go down there.
Besides me, no one. Once this snow clears, we will be able to move him from the house.
All right.
Your assistance has been most valuable as always.
All right, let's go outside.
What if someone steals the body?
That's a possibility. Hold on, let's talk to Angeline first, actually.
Good morning, Detective. I hope you were comfortable last night.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. The room was more than pleasant, merci. I'm afraid my mind was not in a state to enjoy it to its full potential, though.
I can't imagine any of us slept soundly last night.
Hopefully guilt will be weighing heavily on someone's shoulders this morning.
Perhaps on more than one set.
I'm sorry if I was not much help last night, Detective.
On the contrary, your inside knowledge of the guests was of great help to my investigation. But there are many more questions that require answers.
What were your feelings toward the Major's position in the house?
His position? You mean about him living here?
Oui, even in a house this size, you must see a lot of each other.
I enjoyed having him here. When I was away with Gideon, it was comforting to know Maman was not alone. Although his work with Mr. Da Silva has kept him away from the house of late.
What can you tell me about their relationship, working or otherwise?
There is not much to tell, only that there is no love lost between them.
Do you know what their business entailed? Because remember, it was like a business call he had. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
In the study?
Yes.
He was always quite private about his work. I know that he was helping Mr. Da Silva with some safety matters.
I found a check addressed to the Major from Monsieur Da Silva. It noted security consulting.
Ah, that's right, security. With his military training, he helped Mr. Da Silva prepare for any trouble with the strikes.
Although the Major's death has taken precedence, there has been a development in the blackmail case.
A development? Oh, Detective, I knew I could count on you.
It may not be the news you had wished for, though. Another letter has been found.
Addressed to me? I don't know how much more I can take of this.
Pardonnez-moi, mademoiselle. Although it has been written in the same manner, using similar phraseology, it was not sent for your eyes, rather the Major's. Or at least that is how it seems.
I'm sorry, Detective, I don't understand. It is addressed to him or not?
I found it in the Major's study yesterday while conducting my preliminary search. Whether he is the author of the letter or the recipient, I am still yet to discover.
Could the Major have been behind the blackmail?
Heavens no, he could not do that.
You did not hesitate for a moment.
Why would he do such a thing? And then to send a letter to himself? It just doesn't make sense.
All right. I see
Merci
Gideon
for
in the
your
background.
time,
Let's talk to him
mademoiselle.
next.
You are to a detective
Yeah.
what an umbrella is to a traveler on a wet day.
Oh, what a compliment.
Aww.
Exactement.
That's kind of funny.
That was cute. I enjoyed that.
All right, Gideon. Oh, everybody. Margot, too.
Bonjour, Monsieur Demir.
Because that's something I noticed when editing this stream. Margot was the one that was the only person that did not speak at dinner.
Detective Poirot.
That's a good
How are you?
observation.
The truth, monsieur. With each step towards uncovering the blackmailer, I am thrown 2 steps back as to the identity of the Major's killer.
Is there something I can help you with?
After investigating the crime scene yesterday, I asked Monsieur Sterling to move the body.
Archibald came to me and asked for my help in the matter. My brother and I dealt with it.
Merci for your help. It is a job that only the professionals should have to undertake.
It's a job that had to be done, although it may have affected my brother more than I.
How so?
At the sight of the body, the color drained from his face. Once we had reached the cellar, Zachariah took himself straight off to bed, without even a good night.
While in the study, I noticed the Major's safe was locked. Would you know who has access?
Felix and Madame Vandenbosch are the only ones with keys, as far as I'm aware. Oh, and Archibald. I'm sure I heard Felix asking him to return something to it once.
I wonder why Mr. Sterling did not mention this previously. Oh, maybe he's not allowed to. Maybe that's one of, the forbidden areas. Have you spoken with your brother this morning?
But he was allowed inside.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen him since last night. I'm sure he will have been fine after a good night's sleep.
I imagine the alcohol would have acted as a sufficient sleeping aid.
He does not need his younger brother checking in on him.
Perhaps that is exactly what he requires.
I'm not sure what he told you yesterday, Detective, but he's a big boy. He can look after himself.
I worry that may not be the case, monsieur. His time in the war came up in conversation more than once during our conversations.
He's still talking about it. I thought talking to the doctor would have stopped all of that.
Merci, monsieur.
I'm not sure I like that answer. Alright, let's talk to Margot.
There was so much misconception. Sorry, there was just so much
Countess,
misconception back then.
I wonder if I could ask you some questions.
Oh, and the frustrating thing, it'll just go away. Just talk to the doctor so it goes away. That's... I hate that. Alright, Margot, Comtesse.
That is it, detective? No small talk? No inflating of one's ego?
Oh, weird vampire. Sorry, I guess I was being a bit unclear. I meant that everyone came to kill the mage, but maybe it was a Rasputin thing, where he wasn't really dead, and while everyone thinks I did kill him... Oh, so they would give weird alibis for themselves and others. No, that's a good idea.
No, yeah.
I like that.
Everyone wanted to. Yeah, everyone wanted to, and everyone had a plan to, but only one person succeeded, but maybe not in the way they...
I like that idea. Watching and some poor sod is gonna be like, oh, I didn't even realize I wanted to... thinking that they killed him.
It is like Clue, where, he's like, wait a minute, then who did I kill? My butler. Oh, shucks!
Oh, English isn't your first language? What's your first language? Amanda and I speak a few between us.
We wouldn't have guessed. You speak English very fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that either. Yeah. Amanda and I speak a few between us. My undergraduate degree was in Romance languages, so any one of those.
Yeah, I have a minor. Yeah, I've got a minor in Spanish.
Oh, so du sprichst Deutsch. Sehr gut. Sehr gut. Oder, wie sagt man, Schweizerdeutsch? Das ist die lange? Ja? Ich glaube. Ja, sehr gut. I speak a little German too. Ich spreche nur ein bisschen Deutsch.
I only sing in I only sing in German.
Yeah, Amanda sings opera.
Oh, yeah. Ach, ich wünsche, es ist verschwunden. Ewig der liebe Blut.
Alright. So. Wir sprechen jetzt mit Margot.
I am afraid not, Countess. With the murderer still loose in the house, my mind is rather preoccupied.
Well then, detective, perhaps I can be of some assistance.
Comment, madame?
I thought you might like to know what I found on the Major's body.
Wait, what was she doing there? I demand to know who gave you permission to see the Major's body.
That certainly piqued your interest.
Ooh. This is interesting.
A man has been murdered, and you find it acceptable to fool around and joke.
Oh, please, detective. Do you really think so little of me? Archibald asked for my assistance. He knows of my medical training from my days as a nurse, and I thought I would be able to help. Even if it has been some years.
That's interesting.
What
like how
assistance could be given?
Well, I mean, there's some stuff
dead.
about
What
like
assistance?
well, there's still stuff about like cleaning up the body. But what I was gonna say, I think was interesting was they had it written out that he thought I would be able to help, but then when she spoke, she said I thought I would be able to help, which is two very different meanings. I want to know if she brought it up to Archie or if Archie asked for her.
It was not his place to grant you access to the body.
I shall remember to keep my assistance to myself next time.
What did you discover on the body?
A single stab wound, which you no doubt already knew. The knife was held in their right hand. I would say their predominant hand.
I pride myself on order and method, and this is far from either. A suspect in a murder investigation has examined the victim that they are suspected of killing. It is like something out of a crime novel.
Judging by the depth of the wound, I would say there was no great force put into the strike. More a sign of defense than attack.
But we can't even trust what she's saying.
If I had to say what weapon was used,
No, we can't.
a small sharp knife or dagger.
This may confirm my suspicions of the Major's knife being used to kill him.
I understand it may be difficult for one to keep such information to yourself, but I ask you to try. Your involvement has already tainted my investigation.
You are welcome, detective.
When my superior officer hears of the goings-on in this house, I will surely be seeing the green fields of the countryside once more. I must do all I can to redeem the reputation I have worked to build, starting with finding the killer.
S'il vous plaît, Comtesse. Keep this information to yourself.
Oh, he has to repeat it because he knows she's just gonna blab. Oh, that's interesting, though.
Yeah, because she already calls herself a gossip. Yeah, but seriously, if someone asks you not to do something like this, I mean, she thinks she's being helpful, she's really not.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
So if there's a crime scene, just don't touch it.
right. Like, it's very difficult. All right, do we want to go out to the garden while I'm rambling? Or okay, the butler's pantry. We can't go in there yet, so we can't see. But no, it's like people can be very well-meaning, and it's very difficult, especially if you care about the people involved. But you really don't want to get in the way. It's of like medical professionals or like law enforcement in an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a big issue with the Jean-Benet Ramsey case.
That's what I was gonna say. I wasn't sure if there was a cutscene and the delay would have me talking over it, but that's what I was gonna.
Oh yeah. Oh wow! Where's your coat? Oh, he's shivering. Finding evidence of the figure from last night will on the one hand confirm I'm not seeing things as Mr. Sterling suggested, but on the other pose even more questions that must be answered. Oh, Poirot! Expensive lighter.
Oh.
I don't like that he's shivering. A well-made lighter.
He's determined.
But put a coat on, please. En manteau. With the insignia of a military regiment, the Major must have dropped it. Oh, faint footprints.
Oh.
There's a small trail of footprints in the snow. The Major was seen walking around here yesterday. That's good. Okay. Well, we can still draw in the snow if we feel immature.
Please don't. Oh, whatever. You can draw whatever you'd like. We're all adults here.
I'm not going to draw.
Okay, so someone was by the fountain.
Garden tools.
Huh.
Garden tools have been left out, presumably before the snow fell. Okay.
Luke is alive. He didn't die.
Luke is alive. So it's Luke and Florette are now vigilantes.
Yeah. Vigilantes trying to get revenge from being fired for just loving people.
Well, Florette just got fired because Okay, the garden tools. This area is clear. His shoes
Or
are gonna
that
be.
fire just because.
His shoes are
Yeah,
gonna be
I'm just
so wet.
thinking.
Milk bottles. They must have been left out for collection. I cannot see anyone making it through the snow, though.
Yeah, so, weird vampire, if you don't know, there's another Poirot gang for, Evil Under the Sun. And, there's a part where Hastings is like, go after them, Poirot. He goes, my shoes are the finest Thai leather, polished to a buttered sheen. I will not expose them to the sea air.
Oh,
The house is completely snowed in. It does not look like we shall be going anywhere anytime soon. The snow is still falling, and I'm hardly dressed for the occasion. Perhaps Madame Van den Bosch finished her breakfast and is ready to answer my questions. Alright. Our investigation is complete. Yes. Poirot does not chase.
Poirot does not chase.
Oh, before we go talk to Madame Van den Bosch, let's take a look and see if we can make any connections. Investigate the blackmail, investigate the majors. Yes. Okay, here we go. And then we'll talk to Cassandra. Okay. Talk to Cassandra. Gideon paid off. Oh, more from Gideon and more from Archie. Archibald asked Margot to inspect the body. I can't believe Archibald would allow this to happen. The crime scene and body have been tainted. The brothers moved the body. The Demir brothers moved the major's body at the request of Archibald.
Oh! That also means they could have tampered with something as well.
I was thinking that too.
They could have done, but.
Angeline knew the Major well. She has a positive impression of him. If only she knew his full character. Is her view of the Major consistent? Angeline disputes the Major being the blackmailer. She doesn't believe the Major is behind the blackmail. She's seen the good in him. Okay. Zack was shocked by the Major's corpse. Zack must have seen more than his fair share during the war, so why would Zack be so affected by the sight of the Major's corpse?
Can we connect that to Archie? Oh, sorry.
Zack was therapized after the war. It is nothing that Zachariah should hide. What he must have experienced, I wouldn't wish upon anyone. Gideon claims Archibald has access to the safe. Gideon is adamant Archibald has a copy of the Major's safe key. I shall raise this with him. Okay. Does this connect to
Zachariah to...
I was going to connect Zack was shocked and he was in therapy.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
I have heard of men returning physically from the war, but their minds remain on the battlefield. Okay, so we got to talk to Gideon. Zack may have shell shock. So that's one.
I believe it.
Yeah, I believe that too. What did you say about the brothers moving the body? Oh, is that connected to Margot?
Oh, I thought that was connected to...
Order and method.
Oh, yeah.
That is the way to solve the problem.
Was that what you were going to say?
I thought that was connected to something that, yeah, connected to what Gideon had said about he and Zack moving the body.
Okay.
But probably not.
I cannot see the logic in this.
Okay.
Could what Angeline said about the Major be connected to the first letter?
Or that she disputes
because she read...
What a revelation!
One can't be surprised with Angeline and Felix's bond. He's been a figure in her life for so long. Angeline was attached to the Major. Okay. Alright. Let's talk to Cassandra.
Yeah.
Well, I must speak with Madame Van den Bosch. I should also... This opportunity... Okay, typo. To talk to Mademoiselle Rihanna in the kitchen. Oh yeah, we haven't met Rihanna yet.
We haven't met Rihanna at all.
Bonjour, madame. May I offer my condolences for your loss?
Look at this evil-looking dining room. It's all red. There's dead animals mounted on the wall. It's like, let us eat in this blood-soaked room.
Thank you, Detective, but they are not necessary. What can I do for you?
Well, she's okay that he's dead.
I was hoping you would be prepared to answer some questions.
If I must.
She's just bothered by the fact that this is like a nuisance to her party. Why would someone want to kill the Major?
I'm sure you're aware he was not the easiest man to get along with. His hot temper made him a number of foes.
A hot temper is reason enough to kill a man.
His mouth often acted before his brain. Perhaps someone had grown tired of dealing with it.
You suggested why someone might kill him, but who do you believe would do it?
Seeing as I heard Mr. Becker's in what I would describe as an unnecessarily loud exchange of words yesterday, he would be my first suspect.
You heard them yourself.
How could I not? The volume they were shouting at, I could hear them from the study in my room.
You did not think it fitting to tell me this yesterday?
I didn't think Felix was going to wind up dead and a murderer loose in my house. My apologies, detective.
Although I must learn more of this argument, it is not Madame that I expect the answers to come from, rather Monsieur Becker's. He has a great deal of explaining to do. A letter was found in the Major's study.
I assume you are talking about the supposed blackmail letter.
Oui, Madame. You know of it?
It arrived shortly after the first. Rather coincidental, if you ask me.
Cassandra fits right in the dining room of evil. Yes, she does.
Even her dress matches the drapes.
No, well,
I'm
okay.
not sure I understand what you're trying to say, Madame.
He no doubt had secrets hidden away. But do you honestly think Felix had anything of value to his name worth threatening him for?
Perhaps you should enlighten me.
Well, he was here, living in my house, eating my food, prepared by my staff. Does that answer your question, detective?
Oh, so why was she keeping him around then? How do you think the Major came to have the letter?
I wouldn't put it past him to have written it himself, in the hopes of getting some sympathy from me.
See, that's interesting. Why was she keeping him around? She seems to hold him in some sort of disdain now.
And the other letters.
Yeah, I think it's clear now that she thinks he wrote it.
He probably wrote those too. If Angeline paid the first, that would have given him the money to pay the second letter. He is the White Knight, saves the day, and expects to live here happily ever after.
I did not expect Madame Van den Bosch to be so blunt with her thoughts towards the Major. I was under the impression there was more to their friendship, not less. It is quite the nefarious plan that Madame has laid out for the Major. I'm not sure I believe he would go to such levels of deceit. I'm sure Mademoiselle Angeline will have an opinion on the matter. I'd like to ask you about Monsieur de Silva.
What is it you wish to know?
You two have been friends for some time now. And while I do not mean to pry, has your relationship only...
If you are trying to insinuate that Mr. de Silva and I are running around like schoolchildren, you could not be further from the truth. He was friends with my husband, for goodness sake.
Oui, I understand they worked together. Investments, if I am correct.
Mr. de Silva was the voice of reason that my husband should have listened to more often, instead of throwing our money at businesses that were already on the verge of bankruptcy.
All right.
Merci, Madame. I shall not bother you any further.
So maybe she has some idea that Monsieur de Silva likes her, but she's like, absolutely not.
I think... I think that she knew that the Major, or at least she suspected the Major wrote the letters, and that's why she's so adamant on ignoring them, but she just kept, because if it came out that he wrote them and she was feeding and housing him, that would just be really embarrassing for her, honestly.
Okay, so nothing on the table. He's still just like, oh, the snow's so pure, so pretty. It's like, there's a dead body. Okay. So nothing really... It's probably the same thing.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. So nothing else in here. Okay, we don't want to go to the salon. Let's go to the kitchen.